And welcome back to Not So Southern Gentlemen. I'm Ricky,
I'm Sean.
and this is our second episode. We are trying to get this rolling, and I feel good about this. How about you?
I feel good. I feel that I'm ready to try to start figuring out what it takes to be good at this.
A man? Oh.
You know, what does it take to be good at this? Like, learning editing. I did some editing in college for the radio station and stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about backgrounds a little. I am well, you rolled in. Where did you go? What did you do?
Well, out of high school, first went to college. Went to college on a partial golf scholarship at that. And never swung a club in college. Maybe kind of sort of partied it all away. And then my second junior year, I was asked not to come back the next semester. But at the time, I was working a full-time job almost. And the reason I say almost is because I was working for some local radio stations doing part-time DJ work, but mainly board work, production engineering. I got familiar with a lot of audio editing equipment. I had to cut a lot of commercials and stuff, so I did that for a while, but that didn't end up being my career. I'm an electrical technician. Basically, I work for a QA section. So when a product is finished, I put it through the wraps before it leaves the door. And that's what I do now. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Of course, we met at a very specific Mexican-themed restaurant. We'll call this restaurant Burrito Chime. That sounds about right. And Burrito Chime. That could be a restaurant. I went to school locally in rural Arkansas and went to college. And then rolled into a career. Whereas you very intelligently went on and did successful things, I rolled into a career in management in this establishment very successfully. And then whenever that establishment sold, I rolled into another company they owned, and it's where I currently work. This is a great opportunity for us to explore. I love doing this. I love talking to people, and I love this kind of culture. I always have been into geek stuff, like we talked about the first episode, comics, movies. Movies have been a passion of mine since very young. My mother used to take me almost every summer would be a weekend of movies, and I'm very thankful for that. Summer of '84. I mean, all the movies that came out that summer, I swear I've seen them all.
That's about legendary right there. Summer of '84 is probably the best summer of movies in the history of movies.
Absolutely. And we see there's two historic movie theaters in downtown Batesville. One is the Landers, which is now converted and restored. It is now a church, but they held true to the building and did a lot of stuff to it, and it looks great, and they can present stuff there. There's the most impressive sound in that place. I mean, everything just dies except for the sound coming from the front of the room. It's amazing what they've done in there. And also the Melba, which has very recently been purchased and is being restored currently. And
now we're talking over 100 years old, I believe.
I believe that is close. It started out as I'm wanting to say a public performance building.
Yeah, it was a public theater at one point in time. I know that.
And then it became a movie theater, which is the point to where they're restoring it. I believe is the 1940s. They're restoring it back to where it has a center ticket booth and very modern sound system and everything, but very sensible to the time look and finish. They just got the amazing original wall lighting and everything that is very impressive. And we're hopefully going to sponsor some movies locally at one point whenever this is done. They're going to be done on July 29th. They even have a Kickstarter And you could go view that. It's the Melba Theater in Batesville, Arkansas. You can find it, Google search, or look on Kickstarter. Um, and
Yeah, that'd be a really great cause if somebody ever listened to this and they had some money to donate, that would be a great cause to donate to.
Absolutely. And that's my movie history stuff. Now, on the other side of it, comic books I've been collecting since my first one I got at a flea market here in my hometown, and I still have that book. And I've just on and off collected comics, and very, very nerdy stuff. Transformers are a passion of mine. I currently collecting the Masterpiece series out of Japan, which, if you don't know what that is, look that up sometime. Which you should check those out on Google or any place like that. But let's roll into our whatever we're going to talk about. What have you got going this week?
Oh, well, would you like to hear? I mean, do we want to do topics right now, or would you like to hear a story?
I'd love to hear a story. I've been hearing about this story, but I haven't heard about the story.
Yes, you do not know this story. In fact, I believe only 3 people know the story. I let 2 friends at work know. So you'd have to here's some backstory. I'm gonna try to make this very picturable, but I gotta lay down some backgrounds first. 2 or 3 times a week, Michelle gets up at about 4:30 in the morning, and we have to take my son over to my mother-in-law's, and she goes that early in the morning so that she can get there, drop him off, and be back before she has to be at work at 8. Inevitably, I wake up, say goodbye to mom and son, and then I don't have to leave work for work till 5:50. So I'm usually left around here, and I'll sleep or whatever. But this morning, I decided, hey, I'm going to get up early. I'm going to take a nice, long shower. Like, this is going to be one of those where you're like, I am clean. There is no doubt. There is not a dirty spot anywhere. That's what I have.
The imagery you're giving me is amazing. Please continue.
That's what I had in mind. Just a great morning. So, in our shower, we have it's just a normal stand-up, little bitty square with the seat that people put their shampoo on. We all do the same thing. And in front of that, we have a suction cup foot scrubber. I'm standing there, and I love this foot scrubber thing. I'm scrubbing my foot, and I was like, hey, I should just lean forward and put my head on the wall and just let the water run over me while I scrub my foot. It'll all be good. Okay, the next part of the story, I'm going to explain it to you. It may take a few minutes, but when I'm done, realize that what I just told you happened in the next about 1.5 seconds. I lean forward, and as I'm scrubbing my left foot, as it goes back, my right foot slips right out from under me. I spin in midair, and my whole left butt cheek and thigh nail the seat. I try for the shower curtain. I pull it out, and I fall straight down with my head out of the shower, bounce my head off the concrete after my hip just got smashed into the seat. I'm a little stunned, to say the least. I hop up.
Stunned. That's a good word. Stunned.
You stunned him. Yes.
Hopping at this point.
So my initial reaction is get up. Get up. Walk it off. Is anything broken? Get up. Because, I'm seeing stars. I'm literally to the point where all around my eye is white. And I'm just seeing lots of light. Get up. Walk around. So I get up, start walking around. Obviously, shut off the shower. Start getting dressed for work. I'm just like, I'm going to get dressed for work. Don't ask me why. It's just the first thing that popped in my head, and that's what I was going to do. So I get dressed for work, and I'm like, man, my head is killing me. I should call Michelle. Now, let me tell you, this story is broke up into different sections, and it is each one just as terrible. So first, we have the fall. I am banged up. I have trouble getting into the car today when we went to the store because it hurts to bend my left leg at all because the entire thing is just black and blue, bone bruised. Like, it is horrible. So I decide I'll call Michelle. I'll talk to somebody, and when you have an injury or an accident or something, it helps to talk to somebody right then. It just gives you some comfort, I don't know what the person on the other end of the phone is going to do if they hear you be like, yeah, I guess they can hang up and dial 911, but, what are they really going to do? Well, she doesn't answer her phone. So I'm like, well, why didn't she answer her phone? I was like, maybe she's at her mom's dropping off Jax, and that's just the way it was, and she left her phone. Well, I get in the truck, I start driving to work, I start calling her like every 3 or 4 minutes. No answer, no answer, no answer. And I'm like, seriously, this is ridiculous. I call her mom, and her mom's like, yeah, she's already left. She should probably be home by now. And I was like, what? Where is she? So I'm beat up, but now the person that I've called to talk to is not answering their phone, and they should be. So now my mind gets totally distracted from being injured, and I'm trying to figure out why my wife will not answer the phone. At which point, she does not answer the phone. I get to work, and all of a sudden I get a Facebook Messenger message that says, huge problem, phone won't turn on. Okay, when I tell you this story, you'll understand because you've known me so long. I guess when I give people instructions sometimes, I'm very forceful in my instructions because I care and I want you to get it right. And when I tell you
I've been on the receiving end of you caring.
When I tell you to do something, I'm not trying to sound belittling. I'm not. But
I agree with the sentiment that you're trying not to.
I care. It's because I care. I care whether you perform the task I'm telling you the right way or not. I'm not trying to be a dick. But anyway, I guess it comes across that way sometimes. Because trying to tell my wife how to do a hard reboot via Facebook Messenger can be frustrating, to say the least. But needless to say, the phone gets rebooted. She calls. We talk. And then, at which point, I tell her about the shower thing. And now she wants me to go to a doctor. I'm like, no, not going to a doctor. I'm fine. And that's basically it. That's the end of the story. But let me tell you, that morning was horrible. That fall hurt, man. I'm not afraid to admit, maybe I'm not as young as I used to be. So when you fall and bust your butt in the shower, then you know that you've truly lost a step somewhere along the way. But that's my shower story.
You don't have any bathroom stories to go with that, do you? No, just kidding.
I hope not. But speaking of bathroom, and bathrooms have pipes, and pipes lead to sewers. Who lives in the sewers and is getting a second movie for Michael Bay to screw up? The Ninja Turtles.
Now, Michael Bay did not direct that. He's producing. Let's not jump on the bandwagon. Michael Bay is producing these movies.
I'm not a fan. I'm just not.
And now, before we talk about it, you are not a fan. I am not a fan of the idea of the movie, but I have to admit, that first movie is popcorn, turn off your brain fun. It actually is. I've watched it twice with my son, and I may be getting more enjoyment out of him watching it than me. I will give it that. But it is not the movie I wanted, but it may be the movie my son wanted, and that's fine. The second one looks to be, I mean, if you look at it this way, you're getting everything you wanted as a child, or whenever you enjoyed the cartoon that came out, not the comics, but the cartoon everybody watched on TV. you're getting everything you wanted out of that in this movie. And hey, I'll go and turn my brain off and enjoy some popcorn and watch this with my son. That's fine with me.
I don't know. I just can't.
You know, what's
you know me, I'm so picky about what movies I'm going to actually pay to go see. I'm very strict on what I want to pay to go see. I just don't know if I can do a Michael Bay film. After I gave him Transformers. That was okay. But I believe you and I seen Transformers Revenge of the Fallen together. It was pretty horrible. And after that point, after somebody makes something that bad, it's tough to give them a second chance.
Let's talk about that. I did mention earlier Transformers, and this was something I did want to talk about.
Okay.
Let me clarify my love of this franchise. I got on board in the 80s with the cartoon, of course. The toys, what I love is the artwork that was on the boxes, basically, and the personalities given on the what they call tech specs. The Transformers movie are kind of a weird animal. I do not like any of them. The fourth one and the first one are the most tolerable ones, but they have done amazing things for the franchise that I do love. They have pumped a huge, if anybody gets a chance to look at the numbers, because they are out there on the internet, of the money and profit Hasbro received from these movies and how they did them, where they put that money, made such great strides in the toys they put out, the production, the amount of media out there. Different from the movie. Now, the movies are self-contained, and they have a toy line that goes with them, but everything else, Transformers, benefited from them. I'm not going to champion Michael Bay as a director of these movies, and I'm not going to go to the theater and see another movie, but I won't go watch them. I will just enjoy the benefits those movies do to what I love. So that ends that. I mean, unless you want to talk about those movies, they're crap.
No, nothing
okay.
At all. No.
What did we see this week? I saw the Doctor Strange trailer, and It is very impressive. What did you like about it?
Oh, I watched it. I watched it 2 or 3 times. It's gonna be pretty awesome, man.
Yeah, the early rumors about Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, whenever the movie was first proposed, Benedict Cumberbatch was one of the first names floated around, and a couple other names came and went. But I thought that was a perfect casting for any actors out there today. And, of course, his name went away for a while, and then suddenly, boom, he's it. He's our man. There was some great artwork that came out that proposed him as Doctor Strange to look great. Moving pictures of this man as this character, absolutely amazing. Of course, the whole trailer takes place at first part of the movie because, I mean, they just finished filming the last part. They've got some stuff done, and the trailer was mostly from the first of the movie. They've come out and said that, and I'm still impressed as hell from it, and I'm excited because Marvel has done a great job at all the characters they've presented so far, even the challenging ones. Like, we were all, how are they going to do this Guardians of the Galaxy? This is even a new thing. This isn't even the original Guardians. How are they going to do this? Same thing with Ant-Man. Ant-Man, how the hell are you going to show Ant-Man on screen? This is stupid. They're going to be Marvel's first failure. And they were both knocked out of the park. Yeah. Doctor Strange is a very hard character to wrap around in a pretty package and say, here you go, to just anybody. It's kind of like the Punisher. The Punisher has the same problem. I mean, in the wrong hands, it just doesn't make sense. It's a guy with a gun who wants to kill people. Doctor Strange is just a magician, in the wrong hands, but in the right hands, like the current comic run I'm hearing, which I have not read, but I've heard very good reviews about. Doctor Strange, one of my favorite stories out of Marvel is from Doctor Strange. It's a 3-part series in just the book in the late 70s or early 80s, where he defeats and kills all the vampires on the earth, and it's not even a big story thing. It's just something that happens in the book, and it's great. But I'm really excited, especially for Benedict Cumberbatch. Now, he is affecting an American accent in the movie, which I was hoping they would roll with him just growing up. Like
British.
He's American, but he grew up in Britain, or his father was British or something. But
Yeah.
I'm fine with it. I mean, I could deal with House coming out of Benedict's mouth. So,
Oh yeah.
what do you think?
Oh, it's gonna be amazing. I mean, it was just a gorgeous trailer, and by the end of it, I was just let's watch it now. I don't want to wait. Like, it's one that I'm just sitting really wanting to watch. This one will be maybe a day one watch. I would put it up there. It's the same with me in Civil War, man. I could watch this. I'm ready for some Doctor Strange.
Okay, what about the Suicide Squad trailer?
It looked okay. Here's the thing. In today's day and age, a trailer can have the entire freaking movie in 2 minutes and 17 seconds.
A la Batman v Superman, but let's not go back there. Let's push ahead.
So I'm just saying, the trailer looks great, but that could be everything. But at the same time, I want to believe somebody can do a good DC movie. I mean, Jared Leto's obviously very committed to the Joker. In my mind, we're talking here. This is the Joker from The Killing Joke. Would you say?
I would. That would be comparable, I guess. Oh, and also they're bringing that animated movie out, and it's going to be rated R. Saw that today.
I've seen that, rated R.
Jared Leto is the most exciting part of that to me, because if anybody can follow up what Heath Ledger did, of course he's going to be compared to Heath Ledger. Everybody knows it. He's a great actor. I think from what I've seen, he can pull something off we haven't seen before, which is really how you're going to win half the audience with that movie. But the trailer was fine. I'm excited for it. What does not excite me is that they've went back for those reshoots that we talked about earlier. Okay. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. That trailer rolled out. What did you think? How big of a Harry Potter fan were you?
I haven't even watched this trailer. When I see Fantastic Beast on the show notes, I have no idea what it means.
Yeah, don't put that in Google and just blind search. Yeah, don't do that.
I just don't.
Where do you land on Harry Potter in general?
I watched Harry Potter because Michelle likes Harry Potter, and you watch stuff that your wife likes. On my own, I don't know if I ever would have watched it.
Well, I understand that, and I approached whenever the first 3 movies had come out before I started doing anything with it, and I got into it. Now, I'm not into it. I've read the books, I watched the movies, but the reason I did was because she had a very funny approach to that first book, which I learned and got me interested. Was it was written from the age-appropriate level, and the books progressed through the ages, which became more and more the reader's age, and the story became more mature. And I thought that was a really innovative way to go with the books, and that kind of got me interested. And I watched the movies, and I enjoy the movies. And my son enjoys the movies. This newest trailer, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, is based off a book out of that universe, and it takes place in 1920s New York, I believe. And it looked exciting. If you like Harry Potter, there's some familiar stuff in it, and it looked all right. I'm excited to see it. Plus, it has Eddie Redmayne, the guy who played Theory of Everything, played Stephen Hawking. Oh, I'm cutting that out. Woo.
Yeah.
Okay. So that looks good. We did get some information on the Defenders Netflix series coming out.
I did see that.
Not only is it going to start filming pretty soon, but they cast Iron Fist, and we'll talk about that in a second. But the news was that the showrunner for Daredevil and Daredevil Season 2 is going to be in charge of Defenders. And I find that exciting because Daredevil and the first and second season are some of the best TV I've ever seen. It plays as a 13-hour movie, and it is note perfect. Love it. How do you feel about that?
Oh, the moment I seen it was going to be the Daredevil showrunner, I was like, bring it on. It's going to be awesome. I cannot wait.
And
Well, I mean, to take off what you said, for those that don't know, the Defenders is the culmination of all this Netflix individual series together as one. It will be. I always felt they were paired up. Well, not really paired up even. Luke and Jessica do a lot of stuff together. I remember, I think I had some Luke Cage comics when I got given them by the comic book store that we used to go to when we were kids. And the lady gave me some Luke Cage, I believe. And so that's about all the experience I have. And I remember Jessica Jones being in there. Now, I did read Daredevil. And so I know that Iron Fist did make the occasional appearance in that.
Yeah, now, for those who don't know, the Defenders, they're going the Guardians of the Galaxy approach to this. It's not going to be the original Defenders out of the comics. They're going to do a new take on it, which is fine. I mean, the original Defenders were a 70s comic. It was like the Incredible Hulk, Namor, Doctor Strange, Nighthawk, Valkyrie, the Beast, that kind of grouping, an Avengers type of grouping with some different characters. And so what it is the street level characters from the Netflix series, being Daredevil, Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, are going to team up in this Defender series, which really exciting. It's Avengers for the small screen, and I'm ready to see it.
Oh, yeah. And I'm excited for the casting of Iron Fist.
Darth Vader got arrested. Did you? No, Darth Vader didn't get arrested. Darth Vader got transferred to a mental facility this week. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Well, other than the link that I have where it talks about our young Anakin Skywalker, he got transferred from jail to a psych facility.
Yes, Jake. Right, which, we're not going to make fun of the guy. He came into the scene very early, child actor, and we don't know his story after the movie, but the guy got arrested. He's been in jail, and apparently, from what I've heard, is that he needed some mental, rather than being in jail, he needs some mental help, and that's great. To get somebody the help they need is exactly what needs to happen, and not somebody behind bars. It's unfortunate that it's somebody that we know from the movies, and that's all we know about him. So, but that did happen this week. What's your next topic?
Well, as I look through, I'm excited to see the layout of the future Marvel movies, and well, that name, Spider-Man Homecoming. Let's see if that sticks. I hope that's a project name, because I really don't know.
Well, I think
Spider-Man Homecoming is gonna understand. We are talking about the young Peter Parker, but I mean,
right. And I think it was a play by everybody saying, "Hey, Spider-Man has come home. He is in the cinematic universe." So, I mean,
yes,
I'm fine with the play on that. If Spider-Man's great in Civil War, and the same people have their hands in that movie, great. Let's make it work. Let's not have Spider-Man be where we drop the ball on the movies.
Please no. Please, that's my favorite.
Inhumans.
That's my favorite. You please don't drop the ball on this one. Like, not this one. Just not. Because unlike most people, I love the Sam Raimi ones. I other than 3. Sam Raimi did a great job. 3 was his stick it to the man for trying to tell me what to do. I don't believe.
Right, yeah. And that it shows. Does it show?
Yeah. I mean, he wanted to be like, all right, you want me to show you a bad movie? I'll show you a bad movie. But that's Sam Raimi's talent, is he can make an amazing movie. Or if you want him to be bad, he'll show you how bad it can be. And I don't have a problem with Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, and this came from Oh no, he was good. I liked it. I mean, I liked his performance in Spider-Man 2. It just wasn't a good movie. It was a wrong decisions on a couple of different things in there, and it didn't come out well. But what we're looking at is a graphic of the setup of the movies for all the way through 2019. This comes from superherohype.com. We've got 2016, and of course, is a Captain America: Civil War, Doctor Strange. 2017, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. Spider-Man: Homecoming, and Thor: Ragnarok. 2018, Black Panther, Avengers: Infinity War Part 1, Ant-Man and the Wasp, and in 2019, Captain Marvel, Avengers: Infinity War Part 2, and the Inhumans movie rounding out the year. What I'm most excited on this list is probably Captain Marvel, which I'm hoping Carol Danvers, they honor the character, her origins, and that includes the original Captain Marvel, Captain Marvel of the Kree. And I hope they do that justice. And that's my take on the cinematic universe.
Oh, yeah, it looks great. It looks like it's filling out nicely. Obviously, I'm going to be the biggest for Spider-Man, other than the Infinity War. I would say Black Panther is a close second. That, just from what I've seen, the Black Panther in the Civil War trailer just looks amazing. Like, he's going to kick some ass. That's what's going to happen. Black Panther's no joke. He's going to be awesome. I love the bulletproof armor that we can see. Yeah. It looks great.
If Marvel's going to drop the ball at all, I hope it's on the Inhumans movie. I mean, if they got a great story and are going to do it right, I'm fine with that. But I don't really care for the Inhumans. I mean, the storyline in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is okay. I like Daisy, but give or take. I don't care.
I feel the exact same way. I honestly couldn't tell you who's in the Inhumans. I don't know if that makes me a bad.
I do know that, like Black Bolt, Medusa. Yeah, I mean, the royal family in the Inhumans is great, and like Jack Kirby did a lot with that too. But I just don't know. I can't wrap my head around how they're going to make it work as a movie. So, I mean, if they do it a great job, they'll have my money. It's fine. I just, I'm not excited for it at this point.
I agree. Now, one thing I read that I thought was interesting, and the people that commented first on the website I was looking at made great comments when they found out that Ben Affleck will be directing his own standalone Batman film. How do you feel about it?
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. How do you, like I said, Ben Affleck is an accomplished director and screenwriter. I think that's the best thing that could have possibly happened, especially after the reviews and the lackluster. Well, I say lackluster, but the underperformance of Batman v Superman. I think that handing Ben Affleck some reins and letting him go loose with it, which as loose as Warner Brothers will let him get, I think it could be the best of all possibilities.
I feel that. I mean, he knows how to do a dark movie. If you've seen The Town, it's a great movie. And we know he knows how to write. We know he knows how to direct. Mm-hmm. I personally really enjoyed Argo. He just really hasn't been a part of anything that I haven't liked. He always carried around with him this persona of, I don't know, you shouldn't really take him seriously, but you should. He's pretty good. He's proved himself. Yeah, he's a big goof that has done some horrible movies on his resume.
You mean like in the back of a Volkswagen?
That's right. And sometimes you got to do the payback film because your friend says you owe him one. It's gonna be good.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
Yeah. Did you know that the GoBots are back?
I did not. I see this on the notes and I didn't even click on it. GoBots, huh? I haven't seen GoBot. Man! Oh!
Yeah.
Bike
if you'll click on that, and what I'm talking about,
I
of
remember
course,
this bike. I remember this bike. I had this bike. I had this. I have this exact toy, probably sold for a quarter by my mom because I wasn't playing with it in a yard sale. And I tell you that just because I know how bad it upsets you to know that my mom sold all my cool toys for like a quarter and 50 cents at yard sales. But yes, I had this exact bike, the MR01 Bike Robo.
Well, yeah, this is GoBots being back are kind of a lie. Now, what has happened is last year there was a toy show that showed some prototypes of some masterpiece style Machine Robo, which Machine Robo is the Japanese show that the GoBots in America were based off of, just like Transformers were based off of a Japanese, not a show, but a toy line called Diaclone. Somebody, or this toy, I have to look at the name again, but they are bringing back the Machine Robo GoBots figures as masterpiece style toys. They're like $45.99 a piece as of this recording, and they look really interesting for anybody that has nostalgia for that. You want to go and look at it. Maybe something you want to mess with, but I thought it was worth to bring up, seeing how Transformers, GoBots, kind of were fighty. Actually, Hasbro owns the GoBots name here in America now, so these might not get a release in American stores because of copyright stuff, the way that works. But
they'll be selling
you can
them
always
at
order them
cons.
online.
They'll be selling them at cons. You know it.
And speaking of cons, now, BotCon, if nobody knows what that is a Transformers convention that was been held for several years now. The first one started in 1994. You have actually been to one with me.
I have.
This year marks the last year of Fun Publications BotCon. And what that is, there's a company out of Texas called FunPub. They do the G.I. Joe and Transformers convention for Hasbro. This is their last year, so the BotCon name is ending. There's been some controversy about this FunPub that owns the convention. I've been to several conventions. I've seen the stories, and it was a really good time. Funny stories happen, and it's just a great place to meet people if you're fans of certain things. And
now the question is, how do you feel? Because I know you've kind of made this this has been your vacation for several years. I know this is either you tie it in with your family vacation, or sometimes this is a Ricky gets away for a weekend getaway. Are you gonna be sad?
Well, I'm not too sad because the same people that are at those conventions are at other conventions. Like there's a TFCon coming up in October I may take my son to, which is not an official convention. It is a fan-run toy convention. BotCon, of course, was the official connected Hasbro-endorsed convention where Hasbro creatives would show up, talk about stuff, show off new product, and mingle with us unwashed casuals. And that part I miss. Like I said, I'm more of a collector of the artwork. There's a really great book that came out last year called Legacy: The Art of Transformers Packaging, which has all the original artwork from the toys. You can look that up on Amazon. It's really good. But since I've had a second child, and early on I've missed a couple since I have had children, and it's just not important to me as it was. But I do kind of, not going to shed a tear for it being gone, but it is kind of, I wanted to take my kids to that when they were older. But there'll always be something else. Yeah,
that's true. That's true. Yeah, we have a con coming up for us, the Little Rock Comic Con. In just, 3 weeks? Is it 3 weeks away?
On the 14th, yes. We'll be at Little Rock Comic Con, possibly handing out some business stuff. If anybody wants to come by, it's in Little. Is this the one in Little Rock? I didn't even look at that.
It's the Little Rock.
Or is it out your way?
But at the Benton Event Center.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And they should have several. I mean, there was a little bit. I don't know if you follow them on Facebook. There was a little bit of an uproar this week on the Facebook post because they came out with. Okay, there were 2 consecutive posts back to back concerning different things, and a lot of people on Facebook misconstrued those 2 things as having a relation to each other and got really upset because the prices came out for your picture with the Red Ranger, the Pink Ranger, and the Green Ranger. And from what I understand, this is the original Red Ranger, which is Tommy, I cannot think of his name, the original Pink Ranger, and then the Green Ranger, which I guess stayed the same throughout the entire series. They came out and said it will be $30 a picture. And that is just $30 for a selfie, or $50 for a selfie with them and